There we go. Thank you so much for joining us this morning at Unity Spiritual Center. We are an inclusive spiritual community where we recognize and express our oneness with our Creator and all creation. Let's open our time together this morning in song as we always do. Oh, Mark, the monitors are just perfect now. We did a tiny bit of adjusting. And this song is called Sanctuary, and it reminds us to be sanctuaries for our own hearts and for each other's. So I'm going to just invite you, if you feel moved to stand and sing this, you can at home or in the room. If you want to sit, you can. For some reason, it just occurred to me that maybe somebody wants to stand. Susan wanted to stand. There we go. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. One more time. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. A sanctuary for you. Reverend Elizabeth?
Thank you, Connie. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. A living sanctuary right here and right now. Oh, I'm so grateful to be part of unity, part of this community, part of what we are creating right now. Because right now, I'm going to invite you all to share the power that's in your heart and your mind. And together, we're going to create a field, a huge field of possibilities, of the radiance of spring and the radiance of the joy that is in your heart as we bring it forth. So we're going to lift our vibrations. We're going to really, really catch something greater that's unfolding for all of us because we are here this morning by a divine appointment. And what I mean by here, wherever you are, we are connected because we are non-local beings and we have the capacity to bring forth this divine splendor out to the world. So join me now. Let's take a breath as we go to the heart. And with a tremendous intention, we say, today is the day that I open my heart to the fullness of the divine presence that I am. And I bring forth the wellspring of joy for the benefit of all. Because as I am being lifted up, so is the world. And this is the day that I am rebirthed and rejoiced in the spirit of the living, loving God. And we give thanks for this that we are creating, for the possibilities as we open our mind and our hearts to the presence that's always here. And once again, we breathe, we rejoice, and we allow ourselves to be fully present here and now. And for this and so much more, we say thank you, sweet, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Ooh, thank you. I love that prayer. That's a high vibe prayer, isn't it? So, who was here on Zoom or in the room here last week when Reverend David spoke? Almost everybody in the room was here. If you haven't seen that yet, go to the Facebook page, Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies, and watch that. And he used to sing and tour with Louise Hay. And this song came up and I could only play one line of it. That's all I remembered. And I thought when I heard Reverend Elizabeth's topic of happiness and joy, you know what? If we don't love ourselves, right? It's pretty hard to be joyful in the world and engaged and love other people. It's got to start with us and accepting who we are and stepping into our beautiful selves to the best of our ability. And this song can maybe push a few buttons, but I invite you to do what Reverend Elizabeth just said. Sit back, keep your heart open, and notice those places where maybe you need to love yourself a little bit more. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel this love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So tell the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring. I'll try to help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come from deep inside. I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love
Thank you. Thank you so much, Connie. Oh my, that song was so powerful and so magnificent and such a reminder that the key that opens the door, the master key to joy, to life, to everything is love, because love is the glue that holds everything together. And for years I listened to to Louise Hayes, and I would do mirror work. I would really stand in front of the mirror and look at the mirror. And if you haven't done so, I invite you to do so. It's really powerful. And look at the mirror until you can love every part of what you're seeing, and then come to that place of I love and accept myself just as I am. Then I started embodying it even deeper by tapping. I love, and join me now. I love and accept myself just as I am. Tap a little bit. I love and accept myself. You know why? Because today is a day where we're going to lift ourselves up in a higher vibration. And it really is about love. If we really want to experience joy, let love into your heart, because it's already there. It is a divine gift. Unwrap it. Unwrap it here and now. You are the love, because there is nothing but love. And out of that love is joy. And it's all happening now in this moment. So if you haven't seen David All's talk from last Sunday, I really invite you to see it. He's a friend, a dear friend, and such an amazing human being. And I watched it, and it really inspired me to write about my own journey. And when I wrote about my own journey, I realized how all the pieces of the puzzle have come together. The little scared girl, the depressed teenager, the reckless young adult. I mean, it all, the many mistakes that I have done or whatever, the worries, the fears. In the midst of all that, the hand of grace has always been there in my life. And if you look back, if you really look back with love, you could see how the hand of grace has always been there. And in every situation, there is always a blessing calling you to a higher level of being. Always, always happening. And so I am grateful, so grateful for that hand of grace. And it was the hand of grace that brought me to unity. It was the hand of grace that guided me on my journey of awakening, of my journey of going up the spiral of love, of possibilities. And so happy May Day, everyone, because it's a new month. It's May, and today is May Day, an ancient festival in Europe. Did you ever play with the May Day pole as a child? I know I did. And it's a day of celebration, a celebration of dancing, singing, eating sweets, and rejoicing, 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 rejoicing. It's also International Workers' Day, so let's celebrate every work that we've ever done. And I like to think of May also as a month of celebrating the divine feminine, because next week is Mother's Day. And so God is the divine feminine, God is the divine masculine, God is the wholeness, and it's all happening in us. But today, I want to focus on happiness, joy. Joy is a divine gift. And I will tell you one thing, when I came up with this topic for today, for the theme, actually, for me, it's a whole month of divine feminine with joy. I didn't realize that today's daily word was joy. So if you have the daily word, I have it in an app. It's joy. And I thought, whoa, there's no such thing as coincidences. It's all happening here and now. So I'm going to begin with a question for you. What if everything your heart desires is available to you here and now? Take a moment to think, what is it that my heart desires? What if it's all about refocusing our attention and to open to infinite possibilities? And what if it's all here and now? I was inspired by this book that I highly recommend, and I'm really thinking of doing a class with it, and it's called Happiness Now. Such a great book, Happiness Now, and it is by Robert Holden, PhD. Robert Holden, Holden, PhD. Not that it has anything new, but just the way that he really phrases everything, it ignited something in me. It reminded me of the power that is here and how joy is a divine power. And he goes on to say that if you want to know happiness, observe a baby. That's all you have to do. Observe a baby. I've had the great joy of having a 7-month baby staying at my house. And boy, when I have looked into her eyes, I have seen infinity. I have seen joy, innocence, purity, beauty. And he goes on to say that a baby's favorite toy is not a thing, it is a moment called now. Past and future are meaningless. Now is the whole world to children, their entire playground. It's not learned or fabricated. And as young children, we were alive to the infinite possibilities of this present moment. Think back. You were full of wonder, imagination, awe, and appreciation for the moment. We believed wholeheartedly that happiness was here and now, that everything, absolutely everything is available to us. And that's the truth. Everything is available to you now because it's not a thing. The key is attention. Attention. And I'm going to read this from Eric Butterworth about happiness. Eric says, what do you want more than anything else in the world? Think about it. A particular object or achievement or goal may come to mind, but essentially you don't want the thing so much as you want what it will bring you. We are told in fable and allegory that man ultimately desires the attainment of the state of being called happiness, the greatest good of all existence. And because there's so much confusion on how to reach happiness, the search for it has been one of man's chief sources of unhappiness. Isn't that something? I'm going to stop for a moment. The happiness that we long for has been the source of unhappiness. He who is searching for happiness is actually searching for things that he thinks will make him happy. But this life brings a series of hopes and subsequent disappointments. And then he goes on to say, in the dictionary, we learn that the root of the word happiness is the same as the word happen. In this relationship lies the key. Life uncompromised by man-made routines and obligations and rigidities is a flow of experiences, of happenings. It becomes sad and repetitive when human customs and harsh patterns of conduct make it so. But rather, life is an adventure. And unhappiness always arises when we lose this adventurous spirit. Make life an adventure, and you will find the holy grail of happiness. And the holy grail is a here and now experience. There's a Zen story that I'd like to share that is so simple, but yet so powerful. And this was about this eager student that went to see this master Zen Buddhist, that the Zen Buddhist was such renowned for the joy and happiness that he shared with everyone. And this student wanted to know happiness. So he goes to see the Zen master and he says, Master, I dream of everlasting happiness. What is the greatest wisdom that you can teach me? And the master smiled and he took out his brush and wrote with a lot of care. He wrote the word attention and smiled. Wonderful, said the student. And what comes after attention? The master smiled, took his brush again, and wrote as if for the first time, attention, attention. Yes, yes, nodded the student, utterly perplexed. Anything more? The master smiled as if for the first time and took out the brush again and wrote, attention, attention, attention. Okay, said the student. Attention then means what? And the master spoke. Attention means attention. Is that all? Said the student. The master smiled and he said, without attention, happiness is nowhere. With attention, happiness is now here. Attention is freedom from all. Attention offers all. So the key is where our attention goes, there goes our power. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Even though I meditate, I practice mindfulness, the Buddhist way of looking to where our attention goes. There are many days that I catch myself going to, I don't know, going to my closet or the kitchen to get something. And as I'm walking there, my mind goes everywhere and I forget where I was going and have to come back and replace my. So I've been really intentional about where my attention goes, especially not feeding any thoughts of fear, of lack, of limitation. Emmett Fox says, attention is the key to life. Whatever you really give your attention to, you become. Whatever you really concentrate upon will come onto your life. We grow into the thing that fills our thoughts as inevitably as the stream merges into the ocean at last. So today I'm going to invite you to really put your attention in your heart, open it to love, be willing to bring forth the wellspring of joy that is a divine gift, and keep opening the gift of joy and happiness and focusing on what brings me joy. And it's knowing that it is here and now. I am filled with joy. Say that with me right now. I am filled with joy. I am a radiant being of joy. Affirm that. Feel it. Feel it. As it says in Thessalonians, rejoice always. In all things, give thanks. All things work for good when we're in that place of gratitude, with love, with joy. All things are possible. Regardless of what we may be experiencing, I want to share with you a powerful story, a real story from Robin Roberts. She is the anchor of Good Morning America. And she had this dream that the happiest day of her life would be the day that Good Morning America would make it to be the number one show the number one morning show. And her dream came true. That was the day that it was announced that Good Morning American had hit the number one morning show. And there was a big, big party thrown that evening on a rooftop and big celebration. But that same day, she was given a diagnosis and she was told that she had 2 years to live. So she went to the party and she was struggling with these two huge parts of her life. The day that she had really dreamed was going to be the happiest day of her life, and this diagnosis that 2 years to live. And then she remembered the wisdom that her mother shared with her when her father had passed. Her father had been the glue in that family. And when he passed, she was devastated and she was just in pieces. And her mother said, "No, honey, no. Today is a day of celebration. We're going to be grateful for all that he has meant to us and all the things that we have shared. But we're going to focus on those beautiful memories." So today is the day of happy sorrow. I love that, happy sorrow. So knowing that joy is a divine gift and that happiness is a here and now experience. With that, knowing that and being intentional, and no matter what, my heart is open to love and to the wellspring of joy. I can meet anything. I can meet the losses. I can meet this human experience, the sorrows, the diagnosis, all that arises, knowing that I am much more than that. And it is all here now. And where I place my attention, that is my power. And I don't have to place my attention on fear and doubt. I can overcome things. To this day, she has overcome. She has overcome the diagnosis that was given her, and she's risen because she chose happiness and meeting the joy of life and being open with that power to meet anything. So we are really anchored in love, in strength, in the joy of our I am power, our divinity. We bring our divinity into this human experience, then we rejoice always. Our faith is strong, and no matter what arises, I am here as a presence of good. And I'm in this presence. I'm here to share this joy with the world, and the world needs it now. So we want to lighten up and be a presence of good no matter what. The gift of happiness is wrapped in your heart, not the world. The real secret is to place the attention in the inner world, within yourself, not the outer world. Your inner unconditioned self, that is the sacred now, where our inner potential resides. It is eternal, it is abundant, and its geography is spiritual, not physical. The sacred now represents the permanent potential within you to experience love, freedom, and joy, regardless of time, space, and circumstances. More than what happens to you, it is your perceptions, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your overall response that are essential. Yourself, your original self, is the real key. Everything else, we let it go. Life is too short, and it is all happening here. I love the scripture. You must be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. But for years, religion has taught us that heaven is a place that we will go after we make our transition somewhere if we're good enough. No, heaven is a here and now reality. Holden goes on to say that we have become a want it now society. The problem with that is, I want it now society is that what we want happiness now, we want happiness now, but we've lost sight of how to experience it now. And I'm going to repeat that we have lost sight of how to experience happiness now. We say, I want it now, but we doubt. We doubt and we don't really believe that it is here now. We have lost faith in now and have placed all our faith in some imagined future. That's how the monkeys in the mind works. We think that happiness is somewhere in the future. And if you don't love yourself enough, you think, well, I can never attain that because I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. When it's all here. And similarly, we've lost faith in ourself, meaning self with a capital S, and have placed our attention on the outside world. Now it is the world, it seems, that must make us happy. And that is where our mystery lies, when we believe that it is the world that is supposed to make us happy. That's the belief that needs to be totally erased from our mind and then shift to the belief joy is here now. I am a wellspring of joy, of happiness. And the source of my happiness is here now. It is not a physical journey. It is not acquiring things, money, possessions. Joy is mine now. So our job is to reconnect consciously to this inner potential. That's the paradise lost. We want to milk that sacred now. That's our excavation work. It is the rediscovery of our inner potential for the original joy, the original love, that innocence of the baby, that innocence of a child. We must be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. That is a sacred now. So are you ready to expand into a more expansive self, a more joyful self? Are you ready to open your heart to such joy? Think of on your mind of the Buddhist monks. They're always smiling, no matter what. Their life is simple, and yet they're smiling. Be like a child. Let it all go. And as this week, as you go forth, practice from the morning, from the moment you wake up in the morning, practice noticing where your attention goes. So the key is notice where your attention goes and bring it back to the present moment, here, now. Allow for whatever arises. If you're feeling sad, sorrow, whatever, remember, you can be happy and sorrowful at the same time. That joy does not turn away anything. It embraces it with the power of love. Bring your awareness to the present moment, to the now. So now join me for a few moments as we go within. Take a breath and let's go within, opening our hearts and saying yes, yes, yes to the power of joy. Loving ourselves no matter what. I am open and receptive to being guided by love, by being guided by joy. I know that there are a million angels reminding me that I am worthy, that I am divine, that every part of my being is here to blossom in the beauty and the radiance of spirit. So now, as you take a breath, allow yourself to go into your inner sanctuary, the place of peace, the place where you have never ever been hurt or betrayed in any shape or form, where you are free to begin anew. And here you are embraced by the light of love and joy and peace that you are. This is who you are, whole and complete, beautiful, radiant being of light. And now plant the seeds of joy, of beauty, of magnificence in your inner garden as you pull away the weeds and rejoice in this moment. And let's be in the silence for a moment and ask in the stillness, sweet spirit, guide me. I am ready to live my life present, open, receptive. My vibration is being lifted in this moment, and I fly high on the wings of spirit like an eagle. I am the open sky. Things come and go, but I am the radiance of spirit here and now. And we give thanks and see your heart smiling. And we remind ourselves that there is a wellspring of joy calling us forth to share with the world. So, knowing this in this sacred container, we're being lifted up, healed and whole and complete for the benefit of all. And so it is. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Elizabeth. That was absolutely beautiful. I was going to sing something else, but I'm not. We're going to do this since you use these words several times. I invite all of you to sing along with me as we focus our attention, right? Move through our day with attention to do what I call have a high vibe day. I want high vibe days. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of joy. Let's do this again. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of joy. How about love? I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. Let's try for attention. It's got a lot of syllables. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of attention. See, we can do it. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of attention. One more, back to joy. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of joy. I am a radiant light of God. I shine the light of joy. And how about we end with this one? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, oh, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. River.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Connie. Beautiful music. And Reverend Elizabeth, incredible, phenomenal message. First day of May. It's perfect. To members of our community, thank you so much for your generosity. When you support unity in the Rockies, know that you are supporting a greater movement of which we are all a part. As we enter this sacred time of giving, I invite you to hold your offering to your heart and fill it with love and light, knowing that it will come back to you multiplied in goodness. For those of you attending in person, you may drop your gifts in the offering box in the back of the sanctuary on your way out. There are credit card donation forms in the seat backs for your use. For those joining us via Zoom, remember you can make an online gift at unityrockies.org. Mark, please display the affirmation of abundance words. And everybody, if you could go ahead and read with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We have several announcements to share. If you would like to host a fellowship hour in May, Donna Grant can get you started in this rewarding sacred service. Also, if there are artists among you who would like to help create our peace poles to commemorate our centennial, please reach out to Donna. Her email address is in Thursday's e-blast. Hey, Donna. The Sacred Women's Circle is sponsoring a cookbook. It's a fundraiser for Unity's 100th anniversary celebration. It's time to submit your recipes with a short story or an inspirational quote to be printed along with your recipe. Details are also in Thursday's e-blast. Reverend Elizabeth will be our speaker next Sunday on Mother's Day, so be sure to join us. She'll also be with us in person on May 15th. And save the date. On Saturday, May 14th, she'll be leading a presentation titled Honoring Our Past, Creating Our Future. This will be a day of discovery, healing, and celebration. So plan to attend, and guess what? The details are in Thursday's e-blast. Although there is no cost to attend, be sure to register so that we have an appropriate count for any handouts and lunch. Molly Lord will be hosting a tuned-in workshop on June 11 and 12th. Some of you have participated in the past and know what a fun workshop it is, so save the date. Molly will share more information in the coming weeks. As we continue our search for a permanent senior minister, I ask the community to join with me now to say our affirmation for a new senior minister. Okay, so with gratitude for the past, we align vibrationally to demonstrate and attract the highest level of leadership in accordance with cosmic law for the Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. Following the service, we invite you to stay for a few minutes for a short town hall meeting right here. The board is considering a change to our COVID guidelines, and we want your input. Following that, those here in person are invited to join us for good food and time together in the fellowship hall. Prayer chaplain Linda Anthony will give the closing prayer and is here and available after the service to pray with individual congregants. Linda?
Good morning. This is my first time back at a service on Sunday morning, and I'm very glad to be here and to see all of you who are here. So as we draw to the end of our service, I'd like us to just take a moment to pray for the people of Ukraine, for their strength, for their comfort, and to know that God is with each and every one of them, holding them close during this time of stress and upheaval. And I would like to ask you to speak the names of your loved ones who are in need of prayer. You may speak them out loud now. Richard, Alex, and we know that God is blessing each one of them, filling them with your healing life, light, and love, and filling them with joy. We know that being in the now moment is the way to happiness, that each time we register this in our minds, that we give our attention to what is happening right here and right now, that happiness will fill us. And for this, we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Linda. It's great to see your face again. It's been a long time. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And we all truly hope that you can stay put and participate in this town hall. It's very important. And whatever you do after the town hall for the rest of your weekend, remember, if someone comes to your mind, reach out to them, because we are all what? Connected, exactly. We are connected. So we're going to stand here in the room and make a circle, joining hands. On Zoom, I invite you to feel your hands in our warm hands, or my cool hands. I'm chilly this morning. And see yourself in this room along with us as we sing our closing song together. Let the light within you shine. We are all connected. Look into another's eyes. See your light reflected. We are one light, shining souls in harmony. We are one light, shining in unity. Susan, would you like to come up and begin the town hall?